and see. I can see that I am live. So I can see you are coming in as well. So let's try this again. Can you hear me now? I'm going from the back end now. So hopefully this is work. I'm just gonna like sort of chat for a couple of minutes and see if everybody can hear me and can hear me well. I hope you are. Do let me know. And you say, I can. Yes, all good now. Yes, I don't know what happened. Sometimes it's just maybe a gremlin in the system and it's just like I don't know, like, you know, it's beyond me like what's happening, but turning it on and off again usually it fixes everything. So that's what I did. I shut the program down and restarted it. Oh, so thank you so much. And actually thank you so much for like letting me know that the sound wasn't great, because I would have gone on for the next hour and then like you could have hardly hear me. Right, so everybody's back. I'm back. Let's get going. Right. Okay, so I'm very quickly gonna pop you over to the website then, and we gonna start the demo. So I'm gonna share my screen. There we go. So, you know the drill. totallybeads.co.uk. You're gonna either press on this button here, video tutorials, or you're gonna go into categories and go down to it's the fourth one from the top, third one, video tutorials from there. And today we named this Evelyn bracelet. This is what the name is from Leanne's list. Leanne is unfortunately still not well, but the name is from her list. She's got this whole list of names what we can use for jewelry, bless her. So I could not stop myself. And again, we got many different colors. We have got 14 colors in total, and we do have a Christmas color as well. So I'm very quickly going to run through here because I want to point something out within the kit for you, and then I'm going to show you the real samples that we can get started. So we have black Mumba, we got Christmas holly, we got golden champagne, we got green marble, we got metallic copper, we got metallic silver, we got pink yarrow, we got shaded spruce, we got dark blue, we have got dark green, we got suede gold, suede purple, we have got Tiny Port, and we have got Teal. So the names of the bracelets, the color names for the bracelets, is taken from the names of the cabochons themselves. So I'm just going to pop in here and I'm going to show you what I really want. So in the kit, you get a strand of the smaller crystals, strand of the larger crystals. You get a size 11 a bag of seed beads, and you get a bag of cabochons and a two-hole clasp. So it will make you one bracelet. However, if you, and it's $9.99. So however, you know, you can add needle and thread as an extra as usual. You can have printed ink structures as well for 45p, going with the kit. Now, extra clasp and a bag of cabochons, which is £3.10 for this color, will make you another bracelet, because you got enough crystals and you got enough seed beads to make another bracelet. So if you want to make two bracelets, that will work out £13 and 10 pence, and then you will have two bracelets instead of just one. So but I wanted to keep the cost down, so I kind of like added the option on separately for you, that if you wanted to do two, it doesn't really cost much extra to do two. You can also view the items if you want anything extra at the bottom of the bundle. So I'm just going to go back. We got so many lovely colors, so I'm going to come down and show you them in real life. So, and I am going to go and zoom in. So we have got, I'm going to start at the top and then I'm sort of move them out of the way so we can demo with something. So we got black Mumba, which is this one. I used black smaller crystals, black cabochons, and then it's going to focus on it. And then on the outer, I used like sort of a very dark sort of silvery gray seed beads with the silver gray crystals. So you kind of have got those two colors going on there. So the next one is Christmas holly, which is, like I said, that we're going to be putting Christmas color together with every kind of like kit we bring out. So we got green cabochons with green crystals, both smaller and larger one, and red seed beads. I think that looks really good. Although we could have like brought gold color in there as well if we wanted to. Golden champagne is the next one. I really do love this one. I don't know, like at the moment I'm really drawn towards sort of goldy colors. I never really did, like I was always like blues, and now it's like golds and greens, like how, and I'm actually wearing blue today, but how you change. This one again, it's the crystals somewhat like olivey colors. I love that marble finish on the cabochons themselves, and this one is green marble, it's called, and I love the color of the seed beads as well. It's like a very, for me it's like a vintagey color, like a very muted hint of purple in there. Next one is the metallic copper. There we go. I love this color. I really do love, because it's like a little bit rose goldy, to be honest. Next one is metallic silver. I did this all silver, so some of the colors I did that they stood out next to each other, or the cabochons stood out, and some of the colors I blended it all in. It's depending on what you fancy. Next one is the pink yarrow. So I did a lighter pink cabochons, like it's not light pink, it's like more like a sort of a maroony color, and we got purpley and dark seed beads, purple plated crystals and darker seed beads with it, and I think this one looks really nice as well. The cabochons, like on this one, is really do stand out. The next one is sapphire spores. This is this one. I love this one again. Darker cabochon, and then there is lighter crystals and seed beads to go with it. Next one is the dark blue. We have to have sort of a navy blue color. Actually, this one goes very well with my jumper. So maybe we should do one of these today. Next one is suited dark green, which is this beautiful olivey color. Now this one I have chosen the frosted seed beads, and I think when you like play and put frosted like colors next to like the crystals, it just really makes the crystal sparkle, because it's your eyes like all of a sudden when you got a frosted seed bead goes to the crystals. Oh, Eleni's saying the suit is pronounced suede. Thank you so much for correcting me. I love it. I say so many rubbish things. I don't know what I said yesterday, but I said something really rubbish yesterday. I can't remember what it was. We are trying to do the this is suede gold. suede gold. I'm going to remember that. We're trying to do the homework with Christopher. He had biology homework, and for the love of me, I couldn't pronounce those words. Like, what were the cells made of? Like plant cells and animal cells, and he was just laughing at me so much. But never mind. Next one is suede purple, which is this one. Now I love this one. This is the rainbow crystals, and I do love this sort of purple color. It's not a very strong purple color, more like a medium purple. Next one is the Tony. Can't read the letters, it's so small. Port. For me, like this is like your sort of tanzanite purpley color. I do love sometimes these names. Like I can't even. Kimberly's saying coffee. Yeah. So the last but not least is the teal, and I do really love the teal. Again, one of my favorite colors. So what color are we? What color are we going to demo with? Do let me know. And I grab the beads out. So teal, the tanzanite tawny port, suede purple. We have suede gold. We got suede dark green, which is like more like your olivey color. We got suede dark blue. I'm gonna get this wrong again. We got shaded Sprouse, which is like your aqua color. Oh, Leanne is here. Good morning, lovey. She said hello for missing me. Like Leanne, look what they did. I can't say the color names right. Next one is Pink Yarrow. Next one is the Metallic Silver. Then we have got Metallic Copper, which is this beauty here. Next one is the Green Marble. And we have Golden Champagne. We got a Christmas one. Maybe we should do the Christmas one. Oh, you can't even see it now. I went off screen. Like I got so many bracelets that I went off screen and you can't even see them anymore. So I'm just putting all these up so I can get the line. Maybe we should do the Christmas one. It would be nice for us to get into like end of September. Can we do a Christmas color? Can we demo with a Christmas color end of September? And the last but not least is the Black Mamba. So those are our color selection. We could mix it as well. Like, yeah, you are absolutely right, Camille. We could mix Golden Champagne and Metallic mix. We could mix two colors together because we use the cabochon from one and use, like, you know, the outer edges from another kit. Absolutely, you could mix anything. I mean, they're saying love all those colors. Go, Kitty, you choose. Yeah, I've given you a bit too many to choose again. Copper. Lucy is saying green marble. Olive color is nice. Who choose the color names? Leanne is asking. Well, guess Leanne. I didn't set the page up. I don't know how. I'm not going to say who it was. You know who it was. Gold, teal, golden champagne. Right. Okay. So make the Christmas one, please. Camille is saying, shall we? Shall we do a Christmas one? It's end of September. That would be the first, like, Christmas make, like, this year, I think. I mean, like, it's almost 1st of October, isn't it, right? So then it's just, like, I don't know how many weeks. Can somebody Google this for us? I'm gonna get this one out, and let's do the Christmas one. But can somebody Google how many days left until Christmas? I want to know. I need to know how many days do we have left until Christmas. And we need to do like a little countdown. So we have, we can do all sorts of stuff. Tina's saying, I don't want to know. This is the thing. Like, if you said to me 2 weeks ago, like, oh, well, it's Christmas is around the corner, I would be like, oh, you crazy. But now Christmas is around the corner, really. 86 days, Lucy's saying 86 days. So if we do a Christmas color like every 10 days, that should be fine. So that's good. We should be doing like 8 Christmassy makes over the next, like not Christmassy, because as you can see, you can do it in any color. But I think it's nice to have like I think the sooner everybody's saying 86 days. Here's what I found. My watch has just started talking to me. So I think the sooner you kind of start some Christmas makes after the summer, once the weather changes and we get into the autumn, and the sooner you start some Christmas makes, the sooner like you get into the Christmas spirit. And sometimes, like for me, when I'm like busy throughout like October, November, and don't really start anything until the start of December, I do feel like a little bit cheated, because for me the best part of Christmas is not just the Christmas itself, but the leading up to Christmas, and like you kind of like decorating, doing decoration, doing Christmas makes, and then it's like, you know, it's always a nice time of a year. Right, okay, so we're gonna start. How I don't think I ever started on this channel, or I haven't started like that for I'm just gonna count these out quickly so we got the right numbers. I haven't started like that for, I don't know, 10, 15 ever really. Well, I have, but not on this channel. So that's our 23. I'm going to use 23 cabochons that's the right size for me, and I'm gonna get the crystals out as well at the same time. We're gonna need both crystals. You're gonna use the little ones in the middle and the larger ones on the outer side. Lucy's saying the ladies in the club have already started making some Christmas bits. Yeah, I think I did make 6 cards so far. Camille's saying I think that's so good. That's really good to have all sorts of stuff started early, because to be honest, like I do think like once you like finish Christmas and you get the kind of like, you know, it's like you can get ready for the next one and the one after that. So it's like a birthday and anything like that. It comes around every single year, and so I think it's okay to do Christmassy stuff all throughout the year. Right, so I'm gonna start how I haven't started I think on this channel ever before. We are going to start with a stopper bead. So I am not the biggest fan of stopper beads, because I just like to leave the bobbin on there, and that's kind of like act the stopper, because the beads obviously can't roll off because we got the bobbin there. However, for this one you are gonna need a stopper bead, and I'm gonna tell you just why. So I'm gonna go through. We're going to use just one of the seed beads, and we need to remove this seed bead later on. So I'm just going to zoom in a little bit more. So I'm going to go through this seed bead, and then I'm going to wrap this around my index finger just like that, and I'm going to come through the other side again. But the reason I'm wrapping around, because when I wrap this around, can you see the thread path goes all down? Let me just get these out of the way so you can, the camera can focus on this. The thread path goes to the bottom of the bead. So when I'm coming through from the tail end again, I'm going to try to go on the top, so I do not sew through the thread. That's really important, because if you sew through the thread, you won't be able to take this bead off. And I'm going to pull this all the way down, and I'm going to check it. So if I can just hold on to the thread and move the bead up and then move the bead down, then I haven't gone through the thread at all, and I will be able to remove it later on. So I can slide it up and I can slide it down, but it will stop sort of the beads running off. And then I'm going to start my pattern. So with the cabochons, the only things you have to look at for that, they have 2 holes in them, and they got a front and the back to them. So you always want to pick them up in the same way. So as I'm standing, I'm always going to go through a top hole. So if the 2 holes are horizontal here, I'm going to go through the top one. Now you're going to pick up a pattern of a cabochon, small crystal, cabochon, small crystal, all the way down as long as you need it. So we're going to add all the cabochons on first before we even do any spiraling. Because if we could start the spiraling right here, right now, but we can only spiral in 1 hole, because we are only coming and going through 1 hole at a time. And if you don't do the spirals on both sides, you just do it on one side, what's going to happen, that your beadwork is going to start to twist. And when it starts to twist, it's going to be harder to kind of identify, or harder to see where you have to go, or where did you came from, and your beadwork can get twisted. So to remedy that, we're going to go ahead and add all the cabochons and the small crystals on first. I'm just going through 1 hole, and we needed the stopper bead, and you will see why just when I get to the end, because we need to be able to have our little pattern be able to go up and down, or give a little bit more thread or a little bit less thread. And that's why we're not going to knot the end and the beginning together. So have a bit more thread, because once you start spiraling around, and I just grab the finished sample for you just 1 second, I'll show you, you will be creating and adding more thread paths to your beads. And the more thread paths you add to your beads, the tighter your bracelet is going to be. And if I make it too sort of tight, at the beginning, then add more thread puffs to it, it's just gonna be like really over tight and it won't be a nice sort of fluid feel to it. And I just got a knot on my thread. Right, just come through knot. What's happening? There we go. So I am just gonna double check. I got 5, 10, 15, 21. I need 2 more for me, like sort of for my size. So I'm gonna be 22, 23. So I'm all the way down. Now, before I turn back, I am gonna check myself. So to check it, just sort of hold your beadwork up. And then you can see that if all the cabochons are facing the right way, one way, then you are good. You pick them up the right way. If one of them is back to front and the other one is front to back, then you need to go back and change it. So I'm going to pick up 2 seed beads and I'm going to turn around in this very last cabochon, just like that. And then go back and add more crystals in. So I'm not picking up the cabochons now. I'm just picking up the crystals as I go down and adding one in between every single cabochon, and then just gonna sit there. There we go. Sometimes you can pick up and go through before I pull it all the way through. And I'm just gonna add the missing crystals on the other side. Tina is saying, I never know when I'm coming from. Sometimes, you know, like if you don't hold the beadwork down, or if you don't, like with this one, we kind of like pre-stringing our core. It can get like, even for me, it can get like you're constantly trying to sort of turn it and working out like what way does it has to go, and there is so many things we can do to make kind of like life easier for us. So it's all good. Oh, we could have mixed the gold in here as well. I just remembered that I said like you could add the gold next time. So I need a few more smaller crystals. I'm just going to take some off of this strand and then continue adding the crystals in on this side. Tina is saying, I think I can manage that one. It's easy so far, and it's going to be really easy. I think sometimes working with 2-hole beads, you would think it's going to be more difficult because there is 2 holes to worry about, but they really do bind the pattern together, and you can do most stitches and most like techniques with the 2-hole beads as well. You just need to slightly adjust it. Oh, Camille is saying, just add some bugle beads and it could be a caterpillar. Maybe that's an idea for another bracelet or necklace. We could do. We could come back and add some bugle beads for legs. And yeah, it would look like a caterpillar. That would look really good. All right, so I'm almost all the way down. There we go. I have got this one. Oh no, it hasn't. I thought it had. Sometimes you can get a bead which has got like a tiny bit of, I don't know, like a rubble or something inside the hole. So you can just sort of go through with a needle and probe it out. But sometimes it's like blocked, but you only get like maybe 1 in 1,000. And then unfortunately you have to go back and undo it. So I'm all the way down to the other end. I'm gonna ignore this bead. That bead just gonna sit there, because what that bead does is that my pattern as I go along can loosen up a bit, so it doesn't have to be too tight. If I knot this together, this is gonna be as tight as it is. And when I start to add the loops, can you see like all those threads coming out, like those threads, and as we going through over and over and over again, they do need extra room. So I'm just going to pick up 2 seed beads, and I'm going to go back through the first cabochon, the first crystal, and the second cabochon. And I'm going to turn it around, so I'm working on the right hand side from here, and we're going to start spiraling around. I'm going to grab that and just sort of wrap that around my finger so I can hold it nicely and tightly. So now I'm going to pick up the following pattern. I don't need the small crystals anymore. I'm going to pop them to the side, and I'm going to pick up 4 size 11 seed beads. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to pick up my larger crystal and another 4 seed bead. 1, 2, 3, 4. And from here I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna go through this cabochon right at the bottom, the crystal and the cabochon, the ones I just came through, and in the same sort of pulling the thread through, the same sort of stitch, I'm gonna go to the next crystal and the next cabochon to be in position to add my next loop, just like that. And I'm going to repeat this. I'm picking up 4 seed beads. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to pick up a crystal. I'm going to pick up another 4 seed beads. And I am going to go through 3 cabochons again. I'm going to step back 2. So I'm coming out of the third one. So I'm going to go through the second, the third, second. They're always going to the crystal in between. The third one, the crystal, and the fourth one. So I'm stepping back 2 and going through 3, and I'm going to pull this up, and I'm just going to keep repeating this until I get all the way down, picking up 4 seed bead, crystal, 4 seed bead, and getting it down all the way, every single one of them. If you have got a question, please do let me know. Just pop it in the chat. Put a Q or say question in front of it so I know it's for me, so I can be sure that I can answer it for you. 1, 2, 3, 4 crystal, and another 4 seed beads. Again, stepping back 2 cabochons and then going through 3. 1, 2, and 3, all the way down. Mina Singh, has Natalie arrived? No, she's not going to get here until I think about 4 p.m. her train comes in. I think she took her little boy to school and then coming from straight after. 1, 2, and going through 3. Tishy saying, hi, I'm new here. Well, hi Tishy, nice to meet you. Nice to see you on our channels. We are doing flat spiral with Two-Hole Czech Cabochon Beads. So the method is you with a flat spiral stitch, you're going to be spiraling around beads, but on a normal 1-hole bead, we would be doing both sides at the same time. But here, because we got 2 holes, we kind of have 2 sides to the bracelet, we need to do them separately. So I'm just going through and doing one side, and every single time I'm going through, can you see like one loop is sitting on top of another loop? And we choose to work with Christmas colors today because Christmas is 86 days away, and I bet you those 86 days are gonna go so fast. Right, coming through, and there, and that one, and keep picking up the same pattern all the way on the side. Those are unusual beads. They are Czech cabochons, so they are a domed shape bead, and they have 2 holes in them. So we got a hole there, a hole there, and one side is nice and round and the other side is flat. So they do make really nice and very comfortable bracelets because they just sit so nicely against your wrist. Good morning, Linda. And for another 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And keep going through. And I'm just going to keep adding these loops all the way down. But this is kind of like when the size comes in, I have got a chunk of wrist, so I have to make bracelets extra long. And Natalie, bless her, she's got tiny wrists. Her bracelet would be twice as fast as mine. But even though, like, I don't think this one is not too bad in terms of how quick it is to make it. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I just remembered I left the clasps in the other room. So when we get to the clasp part, I'm going to have to run and get it. Because I was beading. Just keep going and adding the same thing. I'd only come through 2, so I need to come through the third one. Always like 1 step ahead of the spiraling what you have. One bead ahead, not step ahead, 1 bead ahead of the spiraling you already have done. So you can always loop back and loop on top of the previous loop. And then you build this beautiful spiraling effect. Good morning, Lorna. That would make a nice necklace. So if you do wanted to make a necklace, you could do that too as well with this. What I would do if I was making a necklace, I would use instead of one smaller crystal, I would use a larger crystal, because if you use a larger crystal in between on one row and smaller crystal on the other row, it would naturally curve it. So you could make it into a necklace if you wanted to. And still using the crystals on the outer side. Probably I would make larger loops for the bottom. I would still make a little loop, little loops on the top, but maybe using 3 seed bead crystal, 3 seed beads at the top, and maybe even going up to 5 seed beads at the bottom. So you have this nice effect going all the way around. Do you have a little play? And do send me a picture if you try that one out. But we use the larger crystals in one row in between the cabochons and use the smaller ones on the other side. And I'm just going to keep on going. I've got a few more to cover, and then we're going to turn back. Now you can add your clasp and you right at the top, or you can do your spiraling on the other side first and then add your clasp. You're going to have to go through the whole bracelet again. It's whatever is easiest for you. I sometimes like to add the clasp as I go along. Other times I like to complete all the stitching before I add the clasp. There's sort of pros and cons to both of the methods, because if your clasp breaks, then you don't have to take kind of like the whole bracelet apart. You just take the end apart if you're adding the clasp afterwards. But if you want to be quick, and like, to be honest, like over the last I don't even know how many years, 18 years I've been doing beading, like I very rarely have something breaking on me. So I'm keep picking up 4 seed beads, crystal 4 seed beads, and then going through 2, stepping back 2 cabochons, and going through 3 going forwards. So I'm always 1 cabochon ahead when I start to add the next loop. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I think for 1, 2, 3, 4, what we do, I'm turn around and I will quickly run back down, show you how to turn around and start the weave, and then add the crystal on for you. Not the crystal. I'm looking at, I need to go through the crystal. Add the clasp on for you to show you. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way down. Quite a nice pattern. I love a flat spiral. It's really one of my favorite stitches because you're doing the same thing over and over again. Obviously, when you're doing it with a one hole bead in the middle, it's slightly different because you pick up your beads as you go along. And here you are kind of have you got your core already done, like you already picked up those and just going along with spiraling around it. And come on, finding the hole, keep going through 3. So cabochon, crystal, cabochon, crystal, cabochon every single time. And taking this one out and another 4, and then coming through the 3 cabochons I need to come through. Like joining, how many cabs do you use, please? So on my bracelet, I used 23. That's my size. You get, I think, 25 in a pack with the kit, so you can make it even larger. So a couple of cabochons probably adds you another inch to your bracelet. I'm an 8-inch, so I like my bracelets 8-inch. So 23 cabochons will make you approximately 8-inch in size. But you can probably, with the kit, you can make a 9-inch one. And don't forget, it's $9.99 today. Now for $9.99 you can make one bracelet. However, if you go in and add another cabochon, another pack of cabochons, and another clasp, you can make an extra bracelet because the crystals and the seed beads are enough to make another one. Right, I'm all the way down to the bottom. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to turn around. So I'm going to go through 2 seed beads. I'm going to come up the first 2 to start with. And I'm going to add my first loop. So 1, 2, and I'm going to add my first loop. And then I'm going to head and away from myself. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I know I need to go through 3, so I'm stepping back through. I need to go through 3 cabochons to be able to add my next loop. So I'm going to pick up this 1, 2, 3, 4 crystal, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now what you need to pay attention here, that what do you need to go through your bracelet, because if I go from the top, and I'm going to pull this down and show you what happens. So if I go from the top, can you see, then my weave is going to be different on one side than from the other side. So what I need to do when I'm turned back on myself, I'm coming back on myself, I need to turn my beadwork around and do it on the back side. So I am stepping back 2. Let me just turn this around because I can't see the hole. So going through 2, and then the third one, so I'm in position to add the next loop. And then you can run all the way down, adding your loops on the back. So on one side, you are adding your loops on the front, and on the other side, you will be adding your loops on the back. And you can see that this loop both comes to the front, and the loop behind it both goes to the back. So that's what you need to do. You need to turn around and you need to spiral on the other side if you want your spiral to sit the same. I mean, you can make it look like it will look really nice as well if they sort of spiral to a different direction. So that could be a design feature you do, but if you want to make them look like the same, that's what you need to do. You need to turn your bracelet around, and then you're spiraling backwards because you're going back on yourself on the back. So when you turn to the front, it's going to look exactly the same. Right, so I am going to just add this one more loop, and then I'm imagine we finish the bracelet and we are ready to add the clasp. You would be doing this step all the way down. There's no point for me to sit here and add all the loops, so I'm going to show you how to do the clasp. So as I turn around, can you see all of those are sitting the same way? And I just need to grab a clasp. What I have, I left them all in the other room, and the only one I have here is a rose gold one, which I don't think it's gonna go. I need a different color. Let me just have a look. Oh, it's running on this one. Oh yes, I got another one here. I don't need to run. So I got, I think that either that color here, and I think that's it. And that one is rose gold as well. Sometimes they just sort of, I got this little collection at the top, just like I just chuck like loose ones in there, but I think that color will do for that one. I think the kit comes with, and I'm just gonna pop in and have a look. I think it's gold it comes with, Two-Hole sliding clasp. But I'm gonna add this one on. Right, okay, so I'm just gonna turn around and I'm gonna show you how to add the clasp, so you know that as well. I'm just gonna go through the other hole on the cabochon and just take my thread all the way down. You wouldn't do this. You would be right on the other end and coming out of the very last cabochon after finishing your weave. So actually I'm going to stop here. Now let's go down at the end, because you would be coming out of this end bead here. So after you finish your very last loop on your bracelet, you will be coming out of the cabochon either side of the hole, and then just like in that position, because I imagine I just added this last loop. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go through the 2 seed beads, I'm going to pick up a seed bead, I'm going to come all the way up in the loops. There's plenty of different ways you can add this, the clasp on. So I'm just coming through the very last loop. Then I'm going to go into the cabochon, the second cabochon, and all the way down to the bottom. Oh, I didn't want to go through that seed bead. Just back, all the way down to the bottom. And then you can either run along and add an extra seed bead in here, or you can start adding your clasp now. So I'm going to go through the 1 loop on the clasp. It doesn't matter which side or which loop. And then you're going to go ahead and you're going to come through the 2 here and go through the loop on the other side. And then we're going to turn back into the 2 seed beads. And we're going to go up through the very first cabochon. Just like that. Then I'm going to pick up the following pattern. I'm going to pick up 1, 2, 3, 4 seed beads. I'm going to pick up a smaller crystal. So I want to add a smaller crystal right here at the end, so I don't want it to stick up too much. And another seed bead. And I'm going to come through that seed bead we just added and the other 2 just in the middle. I'm going to pull this up nice and tight. I added I put some put it through hand cream just before I started. It's a bit hard to pull the needle through. Come on, you come through. So that's last loop is gonna sit just there. Then I'm gonna pick up another single seed bead and I'm gonna come up through the loop. So I'm just adding the extra one there as well. Just like that. I'm gonna go down the second and the crystal, and I'm gonna pick up the following pattern again, which is 4 seed beads, just repeating what I have on the other side. Small crystal and a single seed bead, and again I'm gonna come through that single seed bead added in between the two at the end and our loop, so that is going to sit that way. Now if you get to the end and you see like your clasp, I haven't really pulled my threads quite tight, then you can go in and you can remedy that by, I'm going to go through the loop, and then I'm going to go through the cabochon, the very last one, I'm going to come back on this cabochon, just going to jump to the other hole. And again, I'm not pulling it too tight so you can see what I'm doing. Just like that. So that pulled the loop behind the seed beads. I'm going to go through this loop here and come back in that cabochon again. Just like that. And then it will pull, and if I turn around, it will pull that loop just behind. Can you see, just pulling it behind the seed beads? And that's it really. And then you have got a nice end with sort of like a smaller crystal, like starting to go into a point, but you got a nice end, and you would repeat that on the other end of your bracelet. I need to finish all of the spiraling. Lucy's saying comes with rhodium. What colors are available in this kit, Trish? We got 14 different colors. I couldn't stop myself again. I'm going to pop this to the side and I'm going to show you the samples again. I couldn't stop myself again. So we were just demoing with a Christmas color because Christmas is 86 days away. It's going to come around very quickly, and I'm just going to step back one on the website so I can give you the right name. So we have got Black Mamba, which is black with sort of silvers. We do have the Christmas Holly, which is this one. We do have Golden Champagne, which I could imagine using the gold crystals with the Christmas Hills band, and then you would have green, red, and gold in one bracelet. I think that would look really good as well. Green Marble is the next one. I love this one. I love the marble finish on there. Metallic Copper is another one of my favorites. Silver goes with everything, and with the silver I kept like the color kind of like very similar, so it's not like samey, but like it blends in like all together. The next one is Pink Yarrow. Now this one I choose an opposite so it stands out. Next one is the Shaded Spruce, and then we are with the suede. So suede dark blue, suede dark green, I'm going to run out, which is more like an olivey color. The next one is suede gold. Again, I like this color. This is again got a little bit sort of olive in it. So this is like a darker olive, and this one is a lighter olive color. Even mixing these two, I think would look really good. Next one is suede purple. Again, I love this color because it's using the rainbow. And I'm running out of room. Using the rainbow crystals, which then you have got all sorts of different colors coming through the crystal. Next one is the Tawny Port, which is one of my favorite colors, Tanzanite colors. So it's a really nice purpley color with a hint of gray. And last but not least, we have got the teal as well. I couldn't stop myself. I think I sort of have got a nice sort of array of colors for you there. So there's a color for everybody. Whatever you have in your wardrobe, it will go with it. She needs her coffee. Yes, I do. Especially today. Right, my lovelies, I need to go. I need to take this Roxy out. She's sitting there so patiently, bless her. She's such a good dog. I couldn't wish for a better dog. I need to take her out because she's like a bit wiggly now. So she's like, I've been sitting for an hour now. Come on, pay attention to me. So I need to go and take her out. And I got Natalie coming this afternoon, so we'll be up to no good. Choosing all kits I'm doing and putting all sorts of things together. So do look out. We might even do a little live tomorrow from the warehouse. We might just do a pretty one and just sort of come on and say hello. Everybody have a beautiful week. I'll be back next Wednesday on Totally. And yeah, everybody have a beautiful week. And I see you very, very soon. Bye, everybody. Bye, bye.